Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Two-Way Street Virtual Coffee House. Two-Way Street Coffee House has been providing music every Friday night for 50 years. As a matter of fact, next month, November 7th, is our 50th anniversary. Although uh, we can't do it in person, we're still planning to do a virtual. We've got some Friday night guests locked up, um, and some other stuff to be determined. But we do plan on having an in-house all-day celebration when we can. This coming Tuesday, we've got our thing we call BYOS, Bring Your Own Song, which is a chance for somebody to try out a new song or to do a cover with people of like minds. And that's Tuesday the 13th from 7 to 9 with a a sign up at 6:30. Now, due to the COVID, this is week 16 of our live stream format. Tonight we have Charlie Mosbrook from somewhere out there in the virtual world. I guess actually we'll call it Ohio. He's has graciously agreed to fill in because we're supposed to have Miles, who is still under the weather. There's no performance fee, so please donate on the Two-Way Street website. There's a button there to donate for Charlie, and you go through a PayPal. You can either have a PayPal account or you can use a credit or debit card, and all of that money will come to him. So if your heart desires to contribute, please be as generous as you can to support him. And like I said, 100% of all of those donations to the Two-Way Street go to Charlie. And I should know because I'm the guy who cuts the check. So with that, let's bring in Charlie Mosbrook. Take it away, Charlie.
Thank you, sir. Good evening. I'm glad to be here. I was last in Downers Grove on February 11th. That was my birthday, and we were hearing about this thing called COVID. Smitty from Folk Alliance Region Midwest, he's our president. He had been living in Taiwan, so he was the closest to it at the time. He stopped into Walgreens to get a bunch of masks because they were hard to come by. Anyway. And then a fellow by the name of Dave Humphreys dropped me off at the train station in Downers Grove. And I traveled back on the metro back to Union Station and got home. I'm in Cleveland, by the way. Ohio is not virtual, we're real. We do exist. But I am coming to you via camera. Together alone, connected by phones, we gather round tablets and hide in our homes. And we've all been ordered to shelter in place. You and me quarantine with the whole human race. And the virus spread quickly through cruise ships and planes. And it's all just a hoax, our leader complains. And the warnings were silenced. The response was delayed. Still he urgently moves to reassign blame. And we've all been ordered to shelter in place. You and me quarantine with the whole human race. And we search for new leaders in an unlikely face. You and me quarantine with the whole human race. And then the president, he boasted of low gasoline prices, but it ain't like we're burning much fuel. Still he stands up before us, gaslighting the crisis. Can we all wash our hands of this fool? And we've all been ordered to shelter in place. You and me quarantined with the whole human race. We search for new leaders in an unlikely face. You and me quarantined with the whole human race. And the people emerged a little too soon, too soon. And they crowded in churches, exhausted by Zoom. And some took to the streets, they were tear-gassed by goons. As infections kept rising and their lives left in ruins. Uncertainty haunts us in this darkest hour. The economy is trashed, though we boast of its power. And I struggle to find light, as it seems we are doomed. And then a small purple flower emerges in bloom. And we've all been ordered to shelter in place. You and me quarantined with the whole human race. We search for new leaders in an unlikely face. You and me quarantined with the whole human race. You and me quarantined with the whole human race. And it won't be long, well, I heard her say, as we waited at the station in the early hours of the day, and just like a song with an old familiar melody, the number 5 will soon arrive and we'll all be on our way. About 7:15 the train is pulling in. It's right on time, so let the journey begin. Aboard the Zephyr out of Denver and on through to Emeryville. And overhead, guitars are safely stored. Conductor shouts with everybody on board. Before the Zephyr out of Denver and on through to Emeryville. And over the mountains and canyons and the empty old towns. We're dining in the desert while the sun is sinking down. Welcome the night time. We sped across the Bonneville Flats with a pint of whiskey shared that were carried in a stainless steel flask. And I tried to write, but I guess my day is done. Because it's hard to stay awake when you listen to them steel rails hum. And making up time lost to the day, with no more climbs beyond the Great Salt Lake. Aboard the Zephyr out of Denver and on through to Emeryville. Morning breaks and coffee is poured. Conductor shouts, will everybody on board? Before the Zephyrs leave at Reno and on through to Emeryville. Mountains and canyons and the empty old towns, and up around the diner summit, this train is a slowing down behind a freight train. We're losing time across the Golden State. I guess it's never quite as simple as you think that it's gonna be. Well, and as the sun began to fade, we looked out on the San Francisco Bay. Aboard the Zephyr out of Denver, we were pulling into Emeryville. That's a song called Emeryville. The train station there in Downers Grove, I guess the next one or the one before that maybe. I don't remember offhand. Naperville. The Zephyr stops there, going east and west. Such a beautiful train trip. If you haven't taken it yet, do yourself a favor. As soon as this pandemic is lifted, buy yourself a train ticket and travel out to San Francisco via Denver. It's just a beautiful, beautiful trip. I love the railroads, and I haven't been on for a while. So what I do is I go on YouTube late at night, and I watch other people's Amtrak journeys. And I know the routes well, so I know where they're at. And I can just sort of fall asleep pretending I'm on the train. Got to get my couch to hum. There's a tune of mine called Roxanne. I wrote this while riding on another vehicle. It was a lawnmower. I was working as a landscaper. Big mansion. We were cutting that lawn. And so I had the wheel. I was standing on top of it, racing behind of it. And I started screaming the words to the Roxanne by the Police. And by the time I was done with that lawn, it was a big lawn, I had a whole new song. I went home and put it on the guitar, and it seemed to work. Oh, Roxanne, now where did you go? And did you take those legs and take those eyes and take that smile that never lied, my Roxanne? You were never late. You never put me on hold. You never made me wait. You never left me to anticipate, my Roxanne. She greets me in the morning. She got the sunlight in her eyes, and like my day's first cup of coffee, she could bring a dead man back to life. Sing, oh, Roxanne, now where did you go? And did you take those legs and take those eyes and take that smile that never lied, my Roxanne? You could never miss. I like the things you say and the way you kiss, the way you gently touch my lips, now Roxanne. She greets me in the evening. She got the neon light in her eyes, and like my 34th shot of whiskey, she could have played a trick or two on my mind. So, oh, Roxanne, where did you go? Did you take those legs and take those eyes and take that smile? Never lied, my Roxanne. Did you ever exist? Or were you just a dream, and were you ever here? Was life ever really as it seemed with Roxanne? My friend Andy Cohen did that song on a record I put out. The record was called Coverage. And the whole point of the record was to help raise money, and probably my spirit more than anything. After I had my spinal cord injury, things got tough and weird for me real quickly. And so Andy Cohen, he chose that song and played it with his wife and another fellow by the name of Aaron Smith. What do we want to play here? Snooping around here. I'm going to do this right now. This one's fun. Do this a little earlier, so if the kids are still watching, they'll catch this one. It's called Catnipped. And I am a cat, and I live outside. I like it like that, 'cause I can run and hide, and I can do what I want, and I can chase a mouse. But not like those other cats were stuck inside the house. And I can sit on a fence and yowl at the moon, and you can try to make a sense. Love this alley cat tune. Misunderstood. You might have thought I was in pain, but I'm still the top cat of the alley food chain. So don't keep me locked up in the kitchen, and don't leash me like some stupid dog. Give me a litter box, 'cause I will hunt and kill your socks, and your couch will never be the same. I am a cat in a midnight choir. You might think we're in heat. All these cats are on fire, but make no mistake, 'cause we're singing for love, and we're singing for mice, and the lion up above. And now I must admit, 'cause I'm a little bit high from a little catnip, and now I think I can fly. I picked a fight with a leaf, and picked a fight with a dog. Spent the rest of the night widen in a log. And don't keep me locked up in the kitchen, and don't leash me like some stupid dog. So don't give me a litter box, 'cause I will hunt and kill your socks, and your couch will never be the same. the kitchen. And don't leash me like a some stupid dog. And don't give me a litter box, 'cause I will hunt and kill your socks. And in the morning I'll be asleep upon your face. Let's slow it down a little bit. This is kind of a different experience for me. It's real, I'm so grateful to everybody at Two Way Street who invited me and to come and fill in this evening. I am a fill-in guest, which is, I'm more than flattered. Virtual shows happen pretty quickly in my world, so Joel asked me the other day. I was like, yeah, let's do it. And I was last at Two Way Street early November a year ago, right after Election Day, I think. And I love coming out to Two Way Street. I love that whole area. We're actually moving farm there after. We were supposed to be moving there next year, but we're going to move there in 2022 because next year we'll be back in Grand Rapids because we weren't there, or we're not going to be there this month. We're going to be online. Speaking of farm, our conference director and her husband Rod Capps will be here next week performing for you on the Two Way Street. I'll be on. They're great. I had them on my show last week. But we got an election coming up, and we're going to choose a new leader. Or maybe we're going to... Who knows what's going to happen. It's kind of a crazy time. But I wrote this a bunch of years ago after a hurricane hit Louisiana. I got off the internet a little while, or I got off the Facebook a little while ago. My friend Gina, she's down in New Orleans right now. Or actually, in Louisiana. I think she's in Lafayette. She said, there's another hurricane coming. And who here will lead us? And who here can we trust? Who here have the wise men prophesied? And will it be a fallen soldier's mother to step forward? Or will it be a victim of the storm? And is it you, or is it I, or is it something deep inside? Someone here to lead us this time? Is there someone here to lead us this time? Now there's someone in a vision, or someone in a prison, or someone who hasn't yet been born. And will we know them when we see them, or sell them out for treason, renounce them as they step beyond the norm? And is it or is it I? Or is it something deep inside? Is there someone here to lead us this time? Now, is there someone here to lead us this time? Time's slipping by. I've got all these songs in my head I want to sing to you. And I know I'm not going to have time to do them all. But I'm going to do as many as I can. So I hope everybody out there is healthy. That's the most important thing. These are scary times. You're afraid to leave your house just to go grocery shopping. My wife's a teacher. They're going to be heading back into in-person classes soon. We're not comfortable with that, but it is what it is, I suppose. It's what we've been told. Anyways, every once in a while you just want to fly away. Look out into the night sky and imagine what life's like somewhere else. This is my mom's favorite song. She passed away about 4 years ago. A little more than 4 years ago. July of 2016. She was a big sci-fi nut, and I think she liked this song because it's called Up Among the Stars. She could speak, she understood Vulcan. At least that's the memory I cling on to. Though often overlooked, she thought that this time she'd get the dance. Like the laundry on the line, she swayed as she waited for her chance. And up among the stars, she thought that this would be her chance to shine as bright as she had ever shone. Well, up among the, like a billion points of light, some are dim and some burn bright, far away across the Milky Way. Burn on forever, so it seems, and some are flashes in our dreams, fade away while we are just getting started. And up among the stars, we thought that we would be spinning along forever. And together we are up among the, like a billion points of light. Some are dim and some burn bright, far away across the Milky Way. Burn on forever, so it seems, and some are flashes in our dreams, fade away while we are just getting started. Though often overlooked, she thought that this time she'd get the dance. Like the laundry on the line, she swayed as she waited for her chance. And up among the stars, across the galaxy, she left this world behind her. Wherever we are up among them, like a billion points of light. Some are dim and some burn bright, far away across the Milky Way. Burn on forever, so it seems, and some are flashes in our dreams, fade away while we are just getting started. 12 frets. You run out of real estate. I was trying to think of what I wanted to play on this here. We'll change the pace. We're going to do a little mandolin. A few years ago, I wrote a song. I was feeling weird about what was going on. But I was feeling proud of the kids. We had come back from the Folk Alliance conference in Kansas City, and the kids faced another school shooting down in Florida. And after the school shooting, the kids had said we'd had enough of this. Nobody's doing anything to protect us. So they went down to Tallahassee and they told the governor and all the legislators, do something about this. We're going to be voting for soon, and you better remember who we are. And I took those words and I turned them into a song and started thinking about all the people in this world, whether you're an immigrant, you're a woman, you're gay, lesbian, bisexual, and so on. Whether you're disabled, whether you're black, or if you're just a student in school, and all the people who insisted that we not forget who they are. And I wrote the song for all these people. I'm included as being one of the disabled people. I was standing up on my wheelchair yelling and screaming when those people pinned themselves inside Congress and wouldn't let anything happen until the health care was addressed. This, by the way, is a first. I don't know if I've ever done this on the mandolin. Remember who we are, we come from near and far. And women marching in the streets and bent kneed athletes. And we're refugees and dreamers, the immigrants you blame, and we will come from near and far. Remember who we are. Remember who we are, we carry open scars and push these wheelchairs forward. You cannot disregard us as we block the halls of Congress for the fear of a graveyard. Oh, we will come from near and far. Remember who we are. We stood up to the Klansmen and the Nazis just the same, and to a tone-deaf president for whom the victims shared the blame for a deadly act of terror. To him it's just a game, and we will come from near and far. Remember who we are. Scientists and teachers, reporters on TV, investigators, lawyers, oh, the proof it's plain to see. And the evidence is obvious, so don't look the other way, 'cause we will come from near and far. Remember who we are. And you say that all lives matter, but it doesn't seem that way when the consequence of living is dying every day. And if the motto of the police is self-service and neglect, oh, we will come from near and far. Remember who we are. And the schools they're filled with children, but we live by different rules. Drills and lockdowns put in place can't save them from these fools. And as you pander to the worst in us, young lives are laid to waste, and we will come from near and far. Remember who we are, and we will come from near and far. Oh, remember who we are. We got motorcycles rolling around outside. That song, by the way, was second place in the Woody Guthrie Folk Festival in 2018. They asked me to come down there. I was gonna fly. I had to fly home because I had another show, but I didn't feel right flying to the Woody Guthrie Folk Festival, so I took the bus and the train, and the Greyhound got me to Chicago late. So I spent the whole day in Chicago and then traveled all night to Oklahoma City, where I got picked up early in the morning and taken over to Okemah, where we did the Folk Festa. This is a song, speaking of trains, I went to a Folk Alliance conference this year. Back in January, we were down in New Orleans. Again, Gina and everybody down there, take care of yourselves. Good people in Louisiana. On the way home, I wrote this song while following the city of New Orleans, that train that Steve Goodman wrote about. I thought I'd write my own. It's called Silhouette in Blue. Next stop is Memphis. There came a warning from the crew. Patiently she swayed with a suitcase in her hand, and slow in the tempo at St. Paul and Main, she exits at Central Station. She don't care about Graceland, no, she's here for the rain. In a silhouette in blue. Well, everybody is on board. Now the conductor, he shuts the door. Slam a tap and slowly back up to speed the coaches roll. And like a street corner dancer up high on his toes, just a moment to rest between shows. 'Cause the crowd moves along when you're in between songs. Silhouette in blue. On the city of New Orleans, the dining car, it's closed. Just for the folks who ride, well, up in coach, they won't eat tonight. And it's been raining since Jackson, I dreamed the refrain, a song of abandoned campsites And that juke joint is silent, my Stella won't hold its tune. And a silhouette in blue. But since we left Louisiana, there have been no more parades. But when the locomotive roars, it sounds like Buddy Bolin's horn. Now we're almost through Homestead, there are no delays. No trouble reported this morning. Our arrival's on time on track number 9. In a silhouette in blue. I like that one. I wrote that in January. I was really happy with it. It's such a pretty song. I looked at this year as being a year when I would write all this pretty music, just dreamy music was really what I wanted to do. And then we all got put into quarantine. And so I wrote about that. But for the most part, I've been working on learning how to become a virtual performer. Doing a YouTube show and doing these little concerts now and then, and it's a gas. I really dig it. It's kind of fun. It's very different. I miss the fact that if I was a two-way street right now, I would look forward to seeing people like James Curley and Sue Fink and Dave Humphreys and Robin Lee and and Simon and all of my friends who come out there, and Denny. There are too many friends in the area to name them all. I'd use up all my time naming everybody. It's October. I'm going to do a song called Creepy. This song's not really about Halloween creepy. It's sort of... I heard I'm blanking her name right now. She's a terrific songwriter. Bernice Lewis. She wrote a song in a songwriter's circle that I took part in, and it was about growing old and becoming invisible as you become an older woman. Well, as you grow older as a man, you don't necessarily become invisible, you become creepy. And that's what I wrote this song about. And I like your smile, but I'm too shy to show you. And I'm a decent fella, but my cards I will not show. It's not my style, I'm aloof and kinda mellow. You ain't no fortune teller, so I guess I better let it go. And I am not as creepy as I feel right now. I wish I could say it to you. That I like your smile, but I'm too shy to show you. So I will never tell you, and you will never know. It's funny how we all use our middle fingers. We all have triggers that we struggle to conceal. But hidden deep beneath my protective expression is a silent confession that I will not reveal. And I am not as creepy as I feel right now. I wish I could say it to you. That I like your smile, but I'm too shy to show you. So I will never tell you, and you will never know. might be creepy, or just like me. Or maybe I'm alone and I'm feeling foolishly. We'll never know, 'cause I will never talk. And I will likely look away and stare down at my shoes. And I am not as creepy as I feel right now. I wish I could say it's you. That I like your smile, but I'm too shy to show you. So I will never tell you, and you will never know. That's the way creepy goes. Now let's talk about real creepy here. This is a song I wrote a couple of years ago for those kids. His parents decided they wanted a better life for those kids, and they were taken from their parents, and a lot of them are unaccounted for right now. And they took them at ages that were so young that they'd never be able to find their way back to their parents. They took him anyway. This is called Abandoned Big Box Store. They're sleeping tonight near the border in an abandoned big box store. In chain link cages with blankets for space, they sleep on linoleum floors. And they came here seeking asylum. They were torn from the arms of their moms. Now they're sleeping tonight near the border in an abandoned big box store. Came here from Honduras, Guatemala, and El Salvador. The parents did what a parent should do to escape from the brutal drug wars. And they came here seeking asylum. They were torn from the arms of their moms. Now they're sleeping tonight near the border in an abandoned big box store. Congress does nothing, though they disapprove. For the press they will all shake their heads. But political threats trump moral regret, so they save their seats instead of children seeking asylum. They were torn from the arms of their moms. Now they're sleeping tonight near the border in an abandoned big box store. President, he blames the Democrats and demands that we build his wall, or continue to separate mother from child, though he could end this with one single call. Still he ramps up his rhetoric to rally his base, to enrage his deplorable core. Now they're sleeping tonight near the border in an abandoned big box store. will stand up for these children? Would you stand up for your own? If they had been torn away from you for the crime of not having a home, they came here seeking asylum. They were torn from the arms of their moms. Now they're sleeping tonight near the border in an abandoned big box store. Well, I'm going to do 2 more here. I think I'm over by 3 minutes, but I'll make these quick. We'll get those 2 done. This one's called An Easy Win. Aren't a lot of those in this world, but when we get them, smile. It's cool. It's nice to have these little small wins from time to time. There's an old man pushing his walker well up over Coventry Hill. He hasn't got long and he doesn't need much, but he still needs some kind of thrill. He says, give me a couple of tickets and one with an easy win. I'll scratch them all off, match 3 of a kind. If I do, I get to play again. Oh, he says I'm just killing time before it gets the best of me. My mind is slipping, I ain't as sharp as I know that I used to be. And these legs have many more miles, I've only just a little more time. So when my heart stops beating, ain't nothing I'ma keep, and I'm gonna leave it all behind. Well, and the simplest moments, they always mean much more to me. Now that I'm running out of time, I got no rivers left to cross and no mountains left to climb. So give me one easy win before I die. I like to get out, 'cause no one ever comes to see me. I still need contact, I need to have you hear me speak. Oh, just to know that I'm still here. When you listen, you make it clear. When you reach out and ask me how I am today. Oh, I smile and I tell you I'm well, 'cause your voice has made it so. It's all that matters in this single moment. They pass by quickly though. So give me a couple of tickets and one with an easy win. 'Cause all I've learned, it ain't the money you earn, it's the chance to play this game again. And the simplest moments, they always mean much more to me. Well, now that I'm running out of time, I got no rivers left to cross and no mountains left to climb. So give me one easy win before I die. Give me one easy win before I die. That's called An Easy Win. I wrote that for a fella in my neighborhood. Though I don't really know his story, I just made it up. So I guess I may have written it about myself. Monster Creek follow, a path past an old hollow tree that lies decaying on the ground. Letting it go, I take my rest beneath the pines up on the crest, and daylight slips away without a sound. Beneath the stars in Pennsylvania, well, this time is gonna gain ya a chance to figure out where you wanna be. Listening to the wind blow, the night is dark, and I am cold. Nocturnal souls, they're searching for a meal. Something is lurking, all my fears are on high alert as it draws near, and I don't have much to give and less to steal. Beneath the stars in Pennsylvania, well, this time it's gonna gain ya a chance to figure out where you wanna be. Oh, I maybe go east and I maybe go west, and darling, southern food would be your best, my love. And Canada is calling me to you, back to a shore across Lake Erie, where my heart is gonna steer me back to this town of rust where I was born. Oh, back to this town of rust where I was born. Physically tired from the trek, my mind is a wire and I am wrecked, and I barely have the strength to shed my clothes. Settling deep into my nest, I fold my arms across my chest, surrender to the slumber my soul's repose. Beneath the stars in Pennsylvania, well, this time is gonna gain ya a chance to figure out where you wanna be. I maybe go east and I maybe go west, and darling, southern food would be your best, my love. And Canada is calling me to you, back to a shore across Lake Erie, where my heart is gonna steer me back to this town of rust where I was born. Back to this town of rust where I was born. Hey, thanks, John, Tim, Jennifer, Joel, everybody, Dave Humphreys, of course, even though I know he's not really doing anything with, I'm sure he's involved somehow, but you guys kept that thing going for 50 years, and hopefully it'll be 50 more, and 50 more after that, and 50 more after that. We'll see. We'll see what life has in store for us. It's such a strange time, but thanks for hanging out and listening to me tonight. I appreciate it. Have a good evening. I think we're going to have a visit from the house. There we go.
That must be me.
That's you.
That must be me. Yeah, just like you said earlier, we have Rod and Andy Capps coming to us next week from their place in Michigan. And of course, that is 8 p.m. Central Time. For all you Eastern Time folks, that is 8 p.m. Central Time. So thanks a lot, Charlie, for all this wonderful music. And do you think you got one more in that guitar?
A group called February Sky. I learned about them just after I wrote a song called January Sky, and that's what this song's about. I wrote this around the winter solstice in the hope that those days getting darker and darker and darker would soon turn to light again. That's what this is about. The end is almost here, and it's the last month of the year, and a time to reflect upon fond memories and tears. For all the friends we've gained, and still a sense of loss remains. A trumpet blows in the distance, a simple refrain. And though the night is almost gone, we can hold back the dawn and pause in peace and hope that we shall still be here. And as the darkness grew, beyond the solstice light broke through. With every season sad ending is a chance to renew. Beginnings lead with ends. Well, Ann and I were all with friends. So let us pause in this moment as we try to suspend. And though the night is almost gone, we can hold back the dawn. Pause in peace and hope that we shall still be here. And once the morning arrives, we can open up our eyes and we can open up our hearts with a song for these January skies. Once the morning arrives, we can open up our eyes, and we can open up our hearts with a song for these January skies. Thank you very much. It's been wonderful. I've enjoyed spending the time with you. I'm looking forward to reading comments later. I can't see anything, so I'm just looking forward to that. Hopefully you'll see you around soon, hopefully in person. Good night.
Okay, once again for a great round of applause for Charlie. And it's not too late to donate. Remember, 100% of everything you donate goes directly to the man in the bowler. So on that happy note, thanks for coming. And if you found us this week, you'll know where to find us next week for Rod and Annie. And to that